Hi, I'm Dr. Anisha Chauhan and I'm a psychiatrist. And today I wanted to talk about that how IVF is so amazing. It's made so many things possible for a millions of couple जो कि naturally conceive नहीं कर पा रहे थे. But while it's been so amazingly wonderful for a lot of people, we also have to understand that it's somewhere very very challenging, especially emotionally challenging. तो ऐसा क्यों होता है कि IVF treatment या fertility treatment कराने के दौरान हमें बहुत ज़्यादा मूड स्विंग्स होते हैं. Our mood fluctuates so much. Sometimes we're very happy, sometimes we're downright pessimistic. And what can we do to make this better? So we need to understand कि कुछ सालों पहले तक जो चीज़ completely impossible थी, people who were infertile were not able to do anything about it, and that used to be much more stressful. So we need to be glad कि now there's an option, there's hope to so many people कि there is conception which can be possible अगर हमारे अंदर कुछ medical problems भी हैं तो. But at the same time we need to understand कि जब कोई इस process से गुजर रहा होता है, there's a lot of sense of hopelessness, there's a sense of loss. You know, we've always planned our life, हम अपनी life plan करते हैं. We plan the marriage, we plan children, we plan a life with them, and then suddenly you find out that somewhere, you know, it's not naturally possible. So of course that takes a toll on your mind. It is extremely stressful to think about that, that there is suddenly something so extreme in your life and you need a lot of help for that. And while you're going through that process, you know, there are a lot of hormones that you get, which is the part of the process. We have to the doctors will have to give you different treatment plans. You will be overloaded with hormones just to, you know, monitor your cycle, monitor your eggs. There will be a million new terminology that would be introduced. बहुत सारी चीज़ें ऐसी होंगी जिनके बारे में आपने कभी सुना होगा. बहुत सारे टर्म्स ऐसे होंगे जो आपके लिए बिल्कुल नए होंगे, आपको पहले उसके बारे में कोई आइडिया नहीं होगा. एंड ऑफ कोर्स दैट प्रोवोक्स एंजाइटी बिकॉज दैट्स समथिंग वी डोंट नो, राइट? दैट्स समथिंग दैट्स न्यू, जिसके बारे में हमें पहले पता नहीं था, एंड सडनली इट्स बिन लेड अपॉन अस एंड वी हैव टू लर्न अबाउट दैट. Along with that, with all that treatment, of course it has a effect on how you're feeling. आपका mood कैसा है, आप emotionally बहुत labile हो जाते हो. So sometimes, you know, there is a peak of optimism that, okay, yes, there is new hope, there are a lot of possibilities, it is possible for me to have a child. But there are some times when you think like, you know, you just crash into a wave of pessimism and you think like, you don't know what's going to happen. There's a lot of uncertainty. Just because help is available does not mean it's a short 100% thing. Of course, so these things will make you think more and more. These things are going to make you stressed and anxious. Apart from that, you know, a lot of times people don't know about these things. As these terms and this whole procedure is new for you, it might be new for your family also. It might be new for your partner also. So sometimes they would be asking you a lot of personal questions, lot of intrusive questions that feels very personal, you know. Sometimes we don't want to discuss all these things and people don't know where to draw a line by maybe no fault of their own, because like I said, it's something that's not very known to people. There's still a lot of stigma associated with it. But over that, the burden that sort of falls on you, that, you know, I'm going through something that's so major and then I have to answer all these people as well. Along with that, it's not an easy process that you can fit into your schedule. You have to make your schedule around it. So there will be a lot of things that you would be making according to what your IVF plan is, what your cycles are going to be through, what monitoring needs to be done. So your life basically starts revolving around that, which is definitely very difficult. So what do we do? How do we, you know, understand what is normal and what's not normal? Should we be so stressed out? There are definite measures that we can take to realize that, okay, are we being just emotionally labile, or is this, you know, this is normal, or what is abnormal? Where has it gone? Where do I need help? So I want you to really understand that IVF is just not your fertility journey. It's going to be an emotional ride also. So you need help for that, right? So when you start with your IVF journey, please start with meeting with a counselor also, a fertility counselor, or if you have a psychologist, you have a psychiatrist. If you're someone who has struggled with anxiety and depression, which is very, very common, let me tell you, 1 in 4 people have it. So it's likely you would have had a pang of anxiety or depression in your previous before preconception period also. So please consult with them, have someone support you, have someone explain the process to you, have someone explain to you what is normal, what level of anxiety is okay. And if you start taking too much stress about it, you're constantly crying, you're very, very anxious, you can't sleep, your life is not going normally around it, you're fighting too much with your partner, these things, you need someone to communicate and ventilate to and help you with that. So if you need pharmacological treatment, if you need medicines for that, or you just need someone to talk to, or you just need emotional therapy, supportive therapy for that, just seek it out from the beginning, so that in any part of the journey you do not feel that you're alone, आपकी कोई help करने के लिए नहीं है, and you don't know what to do about it. Secondly, be very, very well informed. Let me tell you, there will be a lot of new terms, there will be a lot of terminologies, there will be a lot of medicines that would be given to you. Sit with your doctor. I'm sure they will be very, very cooperative, and they will break down the process for you, and they will advise you what's best for you. Now, sometimes what happens is a patient would take medicines and go home and feel very anxious about it, and not know that it's supposed to cause certain side effects. We have to be mentally prepared for that. The only solution to tackling these problems would be being very, very well informed. You can read up, you can ask your doctors, you can ask your friends who've gone through the same process if they're comfortable with that, and then you can go about it. Thirdly, we have to make sure that our partners, so sometimes in couples what happens is maybe one partner is suffering from infertility, the other partner would need to be very, very extremely compassionate with the person. You have to tackle it as a group, you have to tackle it as a couple, it's a partnership. Do not let the other partner feel completely lonely and left out and things that they have to handle alone. It is your responsibility that you tackle it as a partnership and help the other person out and seek out the difficulties together. Apart from that, if at any time you feel that this is going very overwhelming for me, I need help, I need help from a psychiatrist, I need help from a mental health specialist, just go seek it. It's plenty available, and I'm sure it's really going to help you. And you can set boundaries. Please do that. Please set boundaries between your family members or your friends. It's okay if you're comfortable about answering some questions and you're not comfortable about sharing some intimate details, which is completely fine. So if in this regards you have to be a little selfish, do a little bit of more self-care, take rest when you need it, go into situations only where you're comfortable with. Don't take steps which you're not comfortable with. And let me stress upon this again, be very, very well informed about what procedures you're going to be going through, because that itself is going to decrease a lot of anxiety, knowing that what procedure is going to happen, knowing what side effects it might lead to, what should you expect, what emotional changes you should expect. And with all that help and with all that information, you're going to be doing just fine, and it would be a pretty good process for you. So just be hopeful, and if you have any more questions regarding these things that we've discussed today, you can let me know in the details that have been provided below. Thank you so much.